From coastlines to big cities, the United States is made up of so many diverse destinations that it's hard to decide which places deserve the distinction of the best in America. That's why U.S. News considered a variety of factors, such as attractions, accommodations, and dining options, as well as votes from thousands of travelers, to determine the best places to visit in the USA. Are you ready to explore the ultimate U.S. bucket list? In 2024, these 25 must-visit destinations will leave you in awe. Let's dive in. Number 1. Glacier National Park. Named for the remnants of glaciers from the Ice Age, Glacier National Park is located on the border of Canada and Montana. It is often called the crown of the continent because of its dizzying array of natural beauty. A favorite spot among hikers, the park features a variety of trails for all skill levels, ranging from the easy Trail of the Cedars to the challenging Grinnell Glacier. What's more, the park boasts more than 700 lakes, numerous waterfalls, and 2 mountain ranges, spread across more than 1 million acres that shelter a variety of wildlife. Aside from its breathtaking geological features, it's also home to a fair amount of history. The Going to the Sun Road, a scenic, 50-mile drive through the park, is a National Historic Landmark and an engineering marvel that offers spectacular views, as well as access to popular hiking trails. Plus, many of the park's lodges, chalets, and hotels were constructed by the Great Northern Railway in the early 20th century and are on the National Register of Historic Places. Number 2. Maui. Maui is not nearly as large as the Big Island, nor is it as small as Lanai, as bustling as Oahu, or as quiet as Kawai. For many Hawaii vacationers, Maui is just right, offering a taste of just about everything the Aloha State has to offer, from impressive wildlife to intriguing history and culture. While on a visit here, you can shimmy alongside professional hula dancers, golf along coastal fairways, sail down a zip line, snorkel alongside 5 different types of sea turtles, or simply lounge along some of Hawaii's most notable beaches. One of the archipelago's most popular tourism spots, Maui can be found sandwiched between the Big Island and the much tinier Molokai. Maui is divided into 5 distinct regions. Many travelers base themselves along the coasts of South Maui or West Maui, where the sands of Ka'anapali Beach and the music from the old Lahaina Luau are located, but the rest of the island should not be missed. Travel along the road to Hana to experience East Maui's scenic coastline. Explore Haleakala, the world's largest dormant volcano, in the upcountry, and discover the former tribal battlegrounds of central Maui's Iao Valley State Park. And for a bird's-eye view of it all, reserve a spot on one of Maui's best helicopter tours. Number 3. Grand Canyon National Park. Grand doesn't begin to do this canyon justice. Measuring approximately 277 river miles in length, up to 18 miles in width and a mile deep, this massive chasm in northern Arizona is truly a natural wonder. For 6 million years, the Grand Canyon has expanded with the help of the mighty Colorado River, and for centuries, people from all over the globe have traveled to gaze out over its red and orange grandeur. Managed by the National Park Service and officially designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Grand Canyon leaves its approximately 4 million visitors per year awestruck. But if you're seeking a secluded escape to Mother Nature, you should be prepared. The Grand Canyon can be very crowded. The South Rim, home to the Grand Canyon Village and the well-worn Bright Angel Trail, is particularly popular for sightseers and hikers. It is on this side that you'll find the most amenities. For a break from the crowds, head to the North Rim. This is the place for backwoods camping and hardcore hiking. For an unforgettable view of the canyon, consider signing up for a helicopter tour. Number 4. Honolulu, Oahu. Oahu blends cosmopolitan luxury and breathtaking scenery more than any other Hawaiian island. The state's capital city, Honolulu, showcases the island's urban appeal. Nearby, you'll find a host of cultural and historic sites, From the ornate Iolani Palace to the austere USS Arizona Memorial at the Pearl Harbor National Memorial, in the nearby Waikiki neighborhood, a skyline of high-rises and resorts contrasts with sprawling white sand beaches. For a taste of rural Hawaii, visit the North Shore. Here, you'll find the most brilliant blue waters and meandering hikes. But those three spots aren't Oahu's only must-see locales. Its top-notch restaurants, vibrant cultural events and wild nightlife further showcase this island as a gathering place of Hawaiian culture. Number 5. Yellowstone National Park. With dramatic peaks and pristine lakes, Yellowstone National Park is an outdoor enthusiast's paradise. Multicolored pools swirl around hot springs, verdant forests weave past expansive meadows, and volatile geysers launch streams of steaming water toward the sky. With so much unspoiled natural beauty, it's no wonder why everyone suspected John Coulter was embellishing when he first described Yellowstone's geothermal curiosities in 1807. Nowadays, there's no doubt that the park is indeed extraordinary. While you traverse its 3,000-plus square miles of mountains, canyons, geysers, and waterfalls, be prepared to share the trails with permanent residents like buffalo, elk, and sometimes even grizzlies. Although Yellowstone attracts more than 4 million visitors every year, chances are, unless you spend your entire trip at Old Faithful, you won't see much of them. Yellowstone's 2.2 million acres creep from the northwest corner of Wyoming into the edges of Idaho and Montana, offering plenty of untouched territory to explore. Carve out a day or two to take in the view at Yellowstone Lake and Mammoth Hot Springs. But save some time for the trails through lesser-known regions, like the hot springs of the West Thumb Geyser Basin and the untamed wildlife dotting the Lewis River Channel and Dog's Head Loop. While the sheer number of trails and wildlife watching opportunities may seem daunting at first, remember, you can always come back. Number 6. Zion National Park. Named for the Hebrew word refuge, Zion National Park, nestled in Utah's southwest corner, is no longer the quiet sanctuary it once was. The park is now one of the most visited in the country, welcoming more than 4 million visitors per year. It's as if travelers stumbled upon a secret and can't get enough of the apricot-colored Zion Canyon, which they can view wading through its virgin river or ascending Angel's Landing, with each bend in the river or turn in the trail affording an even more breathtaking view. Plus, the blanket of stars that illuminates the night sky is a welcome nightcap to a day filled with active pursuits. And when it's time to come back from the refuge to reality, the 166-mile drive from Las Vegas or the 308-mile drive from Salt Lake City is just about the right amount of time to process all the beauty you just experienced. Number 7. Yosemite National Park. One of California's most formidable natural landscapes, Yosemite National Park features nearly 1,200 square miles of sheer awe, towering waterfalls, millennia-old sequoia trees, striking, daunting cliff faces, and some of the most unique rock formations in the United States. But despite its enormous size, most of the tourist activity takes place within the 8-square-mile area of Yosemite Valley. Here you'll find the park's most famous landmarks, Half Dome and El Capitan, as well as excellent hiking trails through the natural monuments. Even inexperienced hikers can enjoy Yosemite. Guided tours and climbing lessons are available from local adventure outfitters. Just don't expect to experience it by yourself. Like so many other American tourist destinations, crowds are the biggest obstacles to an enjoyable Yosemite vacation. Approximately 4 million people visit each year. But if you go at the right time, and start your day a little earlier than usual, Mother Nature's wonders will reveal themselves to you in a miraculous and serene way. Number 8. Grand Teton National Park. Towering above Jackson Hole Valley, with jagged snow-topped peaks, Wyoming's majestic Teton Mountains are in high relief at Grand Teton National Park. From the 13,770-foot Grand Teton to the glittering Jenny and Jackson Lakes, which reflect the mountains in their depths, the photo ops are endless. But the park isn't just for mountaineers and photographers. In the peak summer season, the area's trails call to hikers of all abilities and reveal gems like hidden waterfalls and breathtaking views of the Tetons. Meanwhile, the Snake River appeals to kayakers, rafters, and those who simply fancy a float. Historic districts like Menors Ferry and Mormon Row attract history buffs interested in the 19th century past of this piece of western frontier. The nearly 500-square-mile park also contains an array of wildlife, including black bears, grizzlies, moose, antelope, and bison. Plus, autumn visitors can witness the park light up with golden aspens. Travelers who want to tick off another national park on the same vacation can travel the few miles north to Yellowstone, which adjoins Grand Teton. Number 9. Olympic National Park. Washington State's Olympic National Park, located on the Olympic Peninsula, offers something for every kind of nature lover, from hikers to stargazers to boaters to photographers. Among its nearly 1 million acres, visitors can explore glacier-capped mountains, trek through old-growth temperate rainforests, and marvel at more than 70 miles of wild coastline. The park's beginnings date back to 1897, when growing concerns about the area's disappearing forests led President Grover Cleveland to designate it as the Olympic Forest Reserve. Further protections were enacted in 1909, when President Theodore Roosevelt designated part of the reserve as the Mount Olympus National Monument in response to a declining Roosevelt elk population. It didn't officially receive its national park title until 1938, thanks to President Franklin Roosevelt. Today, the park is both a World Heritage Site and an International Biosphere Reserve. Number 10. Kawai. Brilliant sunsets, pristine beaches, aquamarine skies, Kawai has mastered seduction. But the oldest island in the Hawaiian chain doesn't have to resort to over-the-top luxury or tourist traps to entice. Instead, it appeals to a no-fuss type of traveler. Resorts are no taller than a coconut tree, literally. You prefer rural to resplendent? Kauai is your island. There are only 2 major highways, and some regions can only be explored on foot or via one of the best Kauai boat tours. Some would say that you need little more than a good pair of hiking boots, an umbrella, and an adventurous spirit to visit. But we should warn you, you might also need a little cash. Kauai has put a premium on its natural beauty and prized hiking trails, and room rates during the winter can exceed $500 a night. To get the most and save the most, consider visiting during the shoulder seasons. Number 11. Moab. Thanks to its location in eastern Utah, Moab makes it easy for travelers to visit not just 1, but 2 national parks, arches and canyonlands. When you're not marveling at the park's otherworldly red rock formations, explore downtown Moab, which features a charming array of cafes, shops, and food trucks, or sign up for a rafting trip on the Colorado River. Mountain biking, jeep tours, and even cross-country skiing and snowshoeing are all fun things to do while in Moab. Plus, since the town sees less than 10 inches of rainfall each year, it's the ideal backdrop for outdoor adventure. Number 12. Lake Tahoe. Incredible, extraordinary, mind-boggling, try as you might, you'll have difficulty finding words that do justice to the sheer beauty of Lake Tahoe. Resting on the California-Nevada border, Lake Tahoe has long been a favorite vacation spot, welcoming about 15 million visitors each year. Travelers are drawn here by the steep granite cliffsides and towering mountaintops, as well as the crystal-clear waters that have earned Lake Tahoe the reputation of being one of the most beautiful bodies of water in the United States. While the stunning blue lake alone is worth a trip, the surrounding area, also known as Lake Tahoe, boasts miles of hiking trails, dozens of picture-perfect vistas, and some of the best skiing in North America. But wait, there's more. Lake Tahoe seems to have adopted the major traits of its neighbors. You'll find San Francisco-style high-end shopping and dining along the lake's north shore, while opportunities to test your luck reside in the South Shore's Reno-esque casinos. You'll also find plenty of activities that Lake Tahoe is proud to take credit for, including mountain gondola rides, hot air balloon adventures, and scenic cruises across the mirror-like water. Number 13. New York City. Cool, cosmopolitan, crowded, constantly evolving, the Big Apple blends big city splendor with small-town charm. Amid New York's iconic landmarks and towering skyscrapers, you'll experience a vibrant culture permeating each of the city's distinctive neighborhoods and boroughs. Follow trendsetters to the East Village in Brooklyn to check out indie boutiques, iconic bakeries, and trendy coffee shops. Afterward, peruse the racks of the sleek shops lining Fifth Avenue, admire the cutting-edge art collections at the MoMA and the Met, catch a memorable show on Broadway, or sit down for a meal at the latest IT restaurant. As the most populous city in the US, set at the forefront of food, fashion, and the arts, NYC requires stamina. But don't let the Big Apple's frenetic sights and sounds intimidate you from soaking up its grandeur. Wander through the concrete jungle and you'll discover roaring taxis zipping down bustling blocks, fast-paced pedestrians strolling past on their way to marquee galleries and trendy cocktail bars, and Times Square's neon lights flickering at all hours. And yet, the city's twinkling lights and chaotic corners also invite you to embrace every New York minute, explore every enclave, and create your own urban adventure. Number 14. San Francisco. A jumbled collage of colorful neighborhoods and beautiful views, San Francisco draws those free-spirited types who have an eye for edgy art, a taste for imaginative cuisine, and a zeal for adventure. It's really not surprising that songwriter Tony Bennett left his heart here. The city boasts jaw-dropping sights, world-class cuisine, cozy cafes, and plenty of booming nightlife venues. There's no shortage of ways to stay busy here. Spend an hour or two sunning yourself alongside sea lions on the bay, admiring the views of the city from Twin Peaks, or strolling along the marina. And for the quintessential San Franciscan experience, enjoy a ride on a cable car or hop on a boat tour for a cruise beneath the Golden Gate Bridge. Often described as Los Angeles's more refined northern cousin, cool and compact San Francisco takes the big city buzz exuded by its southern counterpart and melds it with a sense of small-town charm. Here, you'll discover a patchwork of culture flourishing throughout San Francisco's many vibrant quarters. Follow the crowds to the touristy Fisherman's Wharf area, which offers spectacular views of Alcatraz, before heading along the bay to the Presidio for a glimpse of the famous Golden Gate Bridge. Number 15. Washington, D.C. With its marbled monuments and high-profile politicos, Washington, D.C. has long been saddled with a reputation as a stuffy government-driven town. A city of southern efficiency and northern charm, as John F. Kennedy once described it, Washington is often seen by outsiders as slow and inefficient. But these days, our nation's capital is awash with a new energy, transforming itself into an exciting, faster-paced East Coast vacation destination. Although the government is still the sun around which the city orbits, the district also offers a host of renowned museums and interesting neighborhoods. And with an explosion of restaurants, cafes, boutiques, and clubs, D.C. has become a thriving cultural hub. You can choose a traditional D.C. adventure, filled with tours of classic attractions like the White House and the Washington Monument, the U.S. Capitol, and the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. And there's no better way to experience iconic D.C. than with a stroll around the tidal basin. But if you've already seen the national landmarks, get a feel for the city's more youthful ambience, highlighted by its urban neighborhoods, marquee art galleries, and vibrant farmers markets. While you'll only need a few days to see the city as you know it from your history book, it could take months to experience the Washington that today's locals know and love. Number 16. Key West. Known for warm beaches and eccentric residents with a live-in-the-moment philosophy, Key West offers a relaxed yet unexpected seaside adventure. Do as the residents, known as conks, do and see where that free spirit might take you, possibly on a guided tour or a snorkeling trip. Perhaps you'll end up at a Duval Street bar, in a Mallory Square shop, or even touring Ernest Hemingway's old home. Key West once threatened to go rogue, in 1982 with a mock secessionist movement to create the Conch Republic, So this is definitely the place to throw a firm itinerary out the window. Take a stroll, sip a margarita, spy a six-toed cat, and set your own pace. While hurricanes have impacted the area in recent years, Key West remains open for business as a bustling vacation destination. Number 17. Destin. Nicknamed the world's luckiest fishing village, Destin has grown into one of the most popular vacation spots on the Florida Panhandle. Founded in the 1850s, Destin used to be a sleepy fishing town until a bridge connected the skinny peninsula with Florida's mainland. With a baseline population of 13,000 residents, this town retains an intimate, friendly atmosphere. Midwestern and Southern families flock to Destin's beaches each summer for the city's trademark bright white shores, made up of pure Appalachian quartz. This unique sand not only stays cool in the summer heat, but with the sunlight's reflection, it also gives the waters an emerald tint. Golfers traverse seaside bunkers, while kids splash in the water parks. More adventurous visitors snorkel and scuba dive off the coast or charter a boat to try their luck at deep-sea fishing. After all, casting a line is an integral part of this peninsular paradise. Number 18. Bar Harbor. Famously known as the gateway to Acadia National Park, Bar Harbor, Maine, has enjoyed a centuries-long reputation as a scenic respite that combines all the best qualities of the state. Its placement along Frenchman Bay means that travelers are spoiled with soothing water views left and right, as well as craggy coastlines that look straight out of a landscape painting. Plus, it's the perfect jumping-off point for some of the best whale-watching tours in Maine. Not only that, but the town fosters a special kind of charm that makes it feel as if you've stepped out of real life and walked into the pages of a storybook. Though, the abundance of finger-licking local lobster will certainly snap you back into reality in the best way possible. This is the kind of place you visit to reset and get back to marveling in the basics, taking a nice long stroll, watching the water sway as the day fades, and enjoying tasty local grub. Bar Harbor is perfect for all of that. Number 19. San Diego. Consistently sunny weather and 70 miles of magnificent coastline are what draw active types and sun seekers alike to San Diego throughout the year, that and the mouth-watering Mexican cuisine, thriving nightlife and one of the country's favorite zoos. And then there are the beaches. Retreat to Mission Beach to catch a wave, to La Jolla to soak up the sun, and to Coronado for a leisurely seaside stroll. What's more, San Diego offers some of the best California tours, including whale-watching tours, boat tours, and fishing charters. When you're ready to ditch your flip-flops and board shorts for more formal attire, you'll find pockets of vivacious nightlife throughout, especially near the historical Gaslamp Quarter. Number 20. New Orleans. New Orleans is known for its European-style architecture, mouth-watering Creole cuisine, and all-around good-time vibes. Considered the birthplace of jazz, the city oozes music from every crevice, whether it's blues, rock and roll, or zydeco. Music plays a key role in the backbone and spirit of New Orleans. While most people travel to the southern city for Mardi Gras, a carnival-type event that features masks, music, floats and merriment, that's not the only party New Orleans hosts. Travelers will find plenty of events and festivals to attend year-round. Post-Hurricane Katrina, the city has had its share of environmental disasters, such as the BP oil spill and Hurricane Isaac, which made the rebuilding of New Orleans challenging, but the city has persevered. Over the past several years, major efforts have been made to restore the distinct districts. Today, Crescent City looks almost as good as new. Start your visit with a walking tour through the French Quarter, where colonial heritage and ghost lore still survive. Number 21. Seattle. Seattle's laid-back attitude and diverse neighborhoods more than make up for its consistently cloudy weather. Plus, it's home to some of the country's best coffee and a thriving arts scene, plenty of history, culture, and, when the weather permits, some exciting outdoor activities. Surrounded by water, and resting between Puget Sound and Lake Washington, the city's favorite outdoor pursuits include kayaking, hiking, camping and whale watching. Not only that, but the nearby Olympic Mountains and the giant Mount Rainier are visible from many spots in the city. Ski slopes are just a short drive away. And while travelers often bemoan the weather, there's actually less annual precipitation here than in New York or Boston. Overcast skies rarely stop Sedolites from getting out and exploring the city, and it shouldn't stop you either. If you're headed to the Emerald City and not up for strenuous outdoor activities, Seattle still offers plenty to do and see. Art lovers will appreciate the glass-blown pieces at Chihuly Garden and Glass, as well as the works on display at the Seattle Art Museum. Maritime enthusiasts can explore Ballard Locks and watch the ships putter by. Several of Seattle's best boat tours even offer an inside look at how the locks operate. Make time to switch gears from boats to brews on a visit here, too. The city boasts dozens of craft breweries and food markets. Number 22. Sedona. Sedona is regularly described as one of America's most beautiful places. Nowhere else will you find a landscape as dramatically colorful. The towering red rocks and jagged sandstone buttes matched against an almost always blue sky have beckoned to professional and budding artists for years. Plus, filmmakers have chosen these fiery rock formations in north-central Arizona as the backdrop for such box office hits as 3:10 to Yuma, Broken Arrow and Midnight Run. But there's more to Sedona than red rocks and good looks. Over the past few decades, spiritualists have flocked to the region to take advantage of the numerous New Age vortexes with supposed spirit-balancing powers found here. Still searching for a way to satisfy your yen? Book an afternoon at one of Sedona's many spas. Traditional treatments with a local twist, such as red clay wraps and blue corn body scrubs, followed by a glass of local wine, are great ways to relax after a long day spent on the trails. Oh yeah, and did we mention that the area is home to more than 100 hiking trails? Exploring the wilderness via a guided Jeep tour is another popular option. Consider purchasing medical travel insurance if you plan to embark on some of these more active adventures. Number 23. Telluride. The origin of this Colorado village's very unique name is unknown, but there are two dominant theories. The first is that Telluride comes from the word tellurium, the non-metallic element, often signifying the presence of gold deposits, that prompted so many pioneers to make their way to the region. But many locals will tell you the name is just an easier way of saying, "To hell you ride," a creative explanation that highlights the killer ski slopes that lure many a winter vacationer each year. Powder hounds will find 2,000-plus skiable acres ideal for novices, experts, and everyone in between. To hell you ride also refers to the region's rowdy atmosphere. Residents and visitors alike regularly gather in Town Park or Telluride's bars for a foot-stamping good time. In the end, it doesn't matter where the name comes from, all that really counts is the great experience you're bound to have here. Number 24. Colorado Springs. It's easy to see why Catherine Lee Bates was inspired to write the lyrics to the famous patriotic ballad America the Beautiful from Colorado Springs. Look in one direction and you'll see the majestic purple mountains, the Colorado Rockies. Shift your eyes in the other direction to find yourself gazing out at amber waves of grain, the Great Plains. The beautiful scenery isn't the only reason to head to this charming town. Colorado Springs is also home institutions such as the Air Force Academy and the Olympic and Paralympic Training Center, and over the years, it's become a cross-section of personalities. Take to the streets and share the sidewalks with budding politicos, young families, art lovers, and more, all stake their claim on this portion of America the Beautiful. Colorado's second-largest city has cultivated a stellar reputation, continually earning a spot on the U.S. News Best Places to Live ranking. It's also well known for being a central political and religious hub, but over the past couple of years Colorado Springs has eased up on the religious rhetoric, even adopting a hint of the laid-back vibe that Colorado visitors normally associate with Boulder or Telluride. To experience this side of the Colorado Springs area, head to nearby Manitou Springs. But most visitors don't come here to sample the political and social discourse, they come for the all-encompassing views found at the top of Pikes Peak, the towering cliffs that make up the Garden of the Gods and the blushing cliffs at Red Rock Canyon. Number 25. Big Sur. Big Sur is not just a destination, it's a state of mind. Stretching 90 miles between Monterey Bay and San Simeon on the west coast of Central California, Big Sur's remote location, peaceful nature and incomparable beauty entices visitors to change gears, both figuratively and literally. Pacific Coast Highway, which was built less than 100 years ago, is the main road that runs through the region and becomes the most scenic in Big Sur. Sitting high above the surf, the highway clings to the edge of the area's cliffs, providing spectacular views as it weaves in and out of the seemingly endless coastline. Driving conditions aside, Big Sur's calming culture is contagious, and has been known to attract minds of all kinds seeking inspiration, refuge or transformation. It was Jack Kerouac who took off to Big Sur in search of inner peace, as recounted in his novel Big Sur. Fellow writer Henry Miller called Big Sur the first place he felt at home in America, later penning the memoir Big Sur and the Oranges of Hieronymus Bosch.